But as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night, we will not vanish without a fight, we're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
It's not true. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters the story they tell when you're gone.
I keep on pushing down the Gypsy road.
All right. You guys notice I changed the intro a little bit, added a little aliens, added a little Bigfoot footage. Makes it all connected. Now, guys, got to warn you guys for something for a second. There's actually a huge storm going on right now in Florida. It's called the Fred. And why this is important? Because our good friend Connor lives in Florida, and he actually lives near this tropical storm Fred.
Yes, it is striking right now. So I don't know if I'm going to, black out in power. We actually lost power a little bit earlier, and it made my eyes water. So it was a full electric shock that went through. And yeah, Fred is a tropical storm right now because it has to reach 75 miles per hour to be classified as a hurricane. And it's in the 60s at the moment. But you got to think at some points of the storm, it's getting some high up numbers. But yeah, I'm bracing right now. It's not too serious. It's not as bad as Hurricane Michael, but I feel bad for all the animals out there and then the people that already have tarp on their roof from the prior storms. So yeah, if I black out, it's due to Fred.
Now look at this. Look at this. There's a circle in Fred. In the word 8, there's a circle. In Grace, there's a circle. That is almost a triangle.
Yup, they paved the way for each other. They said Grace is going to come right up the same path that Fred did, so it's going to be really crazy. And I just hope everybody stays strong. I know Standing Goat's rescue is just a little bit away from me, so he's going through the storm right now as well. So everybody just stay strong, and if you're right by water, watch out for them floods because that's one of the most dangerous things.
Yeah, especially now we know there's actually a triangle, and if you're within that triangle, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, that's literally like the Bermuda Triangle and the ley lines converging right there.
Yeah, that's. I'm about to say awesome. That's not awesome because we want everybody to be safe. We know those hurricanes are no joke. I mean, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes. It's one thing once you see it on TV, but it's different when it actually happens to you. We live in a world sometimes we don't think things can happen to us until it does. So that's why, we all got to help each other out, I mean, it's you never know. Hopefully Bigfoot's fine, nothing destroys, but we got to get ready. If something does happen, we got to be willing to help them out somehow. Get them a hotel, get them somewhere because, who knows how long the storm's going to last. And sometimes, if I'm right, let me know if I'm wrong or right. Sometimes it's not exactly how powerful the storm is. It's when a storm stays in a place for a period of time. It's like if an earthquake happens real quickly, it might be minor damage. But if the earthquake stays, 20 to 30, 40 seconds, that's when the damage starts to happen, when the storm stays there.
100%. Yeah, some storms cast through in just 4 hours, but some stay there for 48 hours, just in the same location, cyclones and whirling winds. It's very dangerous. You'll see trees thrown in every direction after these storms. It's magical in a way, but it's also horrific in a way.
Yeah, and everybody in the chat, I've been updating a couple things on the gypsyroad.com website where if you go to the .com website, if you go to the Bigfoot section, if you scroll down, I'm going to be adding more people, but on the website, I have Long Island Bigfoot. I got some of his videos on here, and I got Connor. He's sitting right there. I got some of his Bigfoots, some of his videos on here on this website. And it's not necessarily about the individual videos. I didn't pick one over the other because I think this one's better. The videos are a link for you to use it to go into their YouTube page that represents the Bigfoot stuff. So if you guys are out, if anybody's watching this, if you don't know who Long Island Bigfoot is or Connor, which I think you guys do, you can, sometimes they're in the chat or you go to my website and you can go through their channels through here. So just wanted to do that little shout out.
Yeah, that looked really nice. Thank you too. Yeah. Appreciate it.
And hey, Bob, I want to do an experiment. Are you up for an experiment, Bob? Bob, are you alive? I think something's wrong with Connor. What's going on with you? Are you hurt?
Yeah, my right arm's like hurting. I know I was doing a lot of stuff this morning, out, on the creek and stuff before the storm hit, but I don't know, man. My right arm just feels it's like it's being twisted or pulled.
Hey guys, guess what? This show's about voodoo, right? I'm going to show you guys something. I made a voodoo doll. I want to show you this voodoo doll.
Oh my gosh! How do you do me like that, man? That explains it. Did you bring this freaking hurricane too? I think so, dude. That just shows you can't play with dark magic.
Now, everybody, should we play with the Connor voodoo doll? Should we see if we can hurt him?
Oh,
Should we change his sex?
Oh no. Boundary up of that, man. Creator, protect me, please. Oh man. How about give me a haircut?
Want a haircut? All right. We're gonna give him a haircut. Okay, we're getting him a haircut. Okay, we're getting him a haircut.
Damn, some strands are coming out. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. If you guys want your own Connor voodoo doll for $1,000, I will make you one. So just deposit $1,000 in my PayPal with your address, and I'll make sure I send you one of these authentic voodoo dolls where you could do things to Connor at night.
Half price for pretty girls.
So Alan,
yeah.
I know we talked about black magic on
Friday
and stuff, but what do you think? What do you think about voodoo? You think voodoo is a
it's real.
To you, or is it just another?
It's real, yeah.
Black magic.
It is real. It's part of the witches, and it is very dangerous for everybody. And I personally do not support or condone anybody who does these dangerous. It's bad.
Now,
I've
been watching a few videos on voodoo and stuff, and a lot of the people who's been talking, representing the voodoo culture, have said that. I mean, I'm no expert at this. Want everybody to know this, but have said that voodoo is just a friendly religion, and what has happened. Now, I'm just reporting of Leader Nimoy did a whole documentary on voodoo, and they're talking about how when voodoo hit America back in the 50s and stuff, or even earlier, that Hollywood started to make movies that made voodoo like the evil black magic when it never was. So I'm just saying what I'm hearing, that it's because of Hollywood that voodoo is supposed to be evil when it never was meant to be evil or nothing like that. I mean, that's what I have been learning. Dr. Wu, let me see. Can you hear us?
He's on mute though.
Oh, he's on mute. Okay.
But yeah, the voodoo religion is based out of 3 places: West Africa, Haiti, and of course Louisiana. But then it trickles off to a bunch of places. But yeah, the actual religion forbids harming others, and the sacrifice is a way to contact the gods. And a lot of military troops came back from Haiti many years ago, and then kind of demonized it all. And then of course, yeah, Hollywood took it to the next level. But of course, to everything, there is 2 sides to the religion. There were some people doing some very dark things with the powers that be. But it's very interesting to go into the roots of it. For the end of the show, I have a list of movies from Hollywood that use voodoo kind of in a negative introspect. Yeah. But all I can ask is for it to be the door opened, and then others can do their research.
Yeah, New Orleans, voodoo is very, very, very huge there in New Orleans. Let me see here. Yes, that's right. Hollywood turns everything evil. Well, it's to make a dollar. I mean, we can't pretend here and say that Catholic religion, Baptist religion, that these religions were always your neighbors holding your hands, walking across the street. We know that there's been a lot of corruptions with modern day religion. I mean, the biggest religion, the Pope and stuff. I mean, they've been known to have, wars are started because of these religions. People have died because of the religions. So we can't put all our blame, say, voodoo is the evil, when regular religion, Baptist religion, Catholic religion has murdered more people than wars itself. I mean, we can't pretend that never happened. I'm not trying to bash the Bible, any of that, but all religions has caused wars, has hurt people. And when the religion itself is supposed to be about love and friendship, helping your neighbors out.
Yeah, it's a very powerful thing, and that's why it gets demonized by the media and everything, because these people are living off the land using holistic medicine, and just their spiritual level is to the next level, so they're not dependent on the establishment. So of course people are going to attack the voodoo because it is something different that works and it's peaceful, and but a lot of the sacrifice and that gets taken down a really dark path. But True. Don't we do the same thing in pretty much every aspect of life? We eat meat. People get abortions, and then other ways of sacrifice that even aren't life. It's just every day we're sacrificing Mother Earth. But I'm big on there are abundant resources, but we have to use everything with good intentions. That's why I try to be thankful when I eat chicken wings, and I'm taking steps each day to get closer to vegan, or at least just a more healthy and natural lifestyle, because we all are eating cloned beef and just things that are just not natural, and it's getting us away. So they're demonizing things like voodoo and veganism, while our natural way might be more sinister. For real.
And Tony, I agree with you that in the wrong hands, anything could be made evil. I mean, you can represent anything, and it means evil. Hey, Bob, can you?
He's gone.
You must be having some bad times over there. But agreed, MC. Once you have the power, good intentions are out the window, in my opinion. That's what actually, you know what, Tony? That happens every day in our government, right? Everybody who runs new all have good reasons why they're running. They want to represent their area. They want to represent their people. They want to do right, but then they get in there. The corruption, the money, people throwing stuff at you. Hey, no, vote this way. No, vote this way. We'll give you this. Hey, we'll we'll help you run your next campaign. I mean, corruptions is there on, one of the best. I know that's not a movie talk, but one of the best things in Batman, is it Batman Beyond? No. The second Batman, the Christopher Nolan movie. There's Batman Begins,
Batman Forever. Christopher Nolan, The Dark Knight.
Yeah, The Dark Knight. In The Dark Knight, the Joker was trying to prove that he could take a good man and break him down.
Yep.
And that movie, he did that with what's that cop's called? Harvey Dent. He took Harvey Dent in this movie where he was a perfect good man. He was not corrupted. He was against the crime. But he proved that with the right buttons pushed, you take the ones that they love and you kill them where they can hear it and see it. You could take a good man and you could corrupt them. So it's just not voodoo. What I'm trying to say is anything can be corrupted. Anything.
100%. And especially with this elite and these Saturn worshipers, they're doing these evil things right in front of us and kind of dividing and conquering while putting the blind over our eyes. So we're, going at war with our brothers and sisters pretty much every day. And now overseas, what's happening, in Afghanistan is very sad. And now we see that our establishment is corrupt and fraudulent and never should have been there in the first place. And, 20 years of hard work and a lot of sacrifice from our military and other people all around the world has just fallen. And it's such a disgrace. And I hope everybody that, was boasting loud and proud swallowed their words and admitted that they were tricked and fooled. And now they're a mockery. And it takes a lot to get back from that. So good luck to all those people. But yes, Dr. Wu, thank you.
And then, and guys, I want to mention something real quick, and then we'll get back into this topic. I'm going to put something in the chat right here. I want you guys.
Women. I hope I walked into something good.
Hold on.
I have boosters, and my boosters are down. Everything's down. There's been no problems. What's wrong with you guys? Have too many positive waves. Everything is like my internet's going down, crash. There's no reason for it to crash. It has not crashed.
Actually, Bob, not everything is going good. Where Connor is, he's in the middle of a storm.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, Tropical Storm Fred. It is ripping right now. I don't know if you guys can see.
I see.
Yeah, it's just hard water coming off the roofs, I don't really have many trees that are around here because all of them got knocked down by Hurricane Michael already. But that's a good thing because at least I don't have anything, about to hit my house. But, yeah, if I black out, that's where I am.
Then I want to show you guys something real quick for tomorrow. I want to show this for you guys for tomorrow. I put Bob on mute for a second because he's got a little feedback. But tomorrow we're doing a show. It's not going to be on this channel. It's only going to be in the Horror Talk channel, guys. It's going to be an interesting show because we're doing two parts of the show. We're going to be talking about the folklore story of the Mongolian death worm. What is the Mongolian death worm? Are these worms real? I mean, there's real stories about these killer worms. And the second part of it, the movie Tremors, are they based on these worms? So we're going to dive into this tomorrow on the Horror Talk channel. I put the link in there. So make sure you click on that link and you hit remind because it will not be on the Gypsy Road channel. I just did that for a while to get you guys a little taste of something a little different. So tomorrow night, jump over because if you don't know anything about death worms, you're going to learn a lot tomorrow because there's legendary stories that these death worms were created from nuclear testing, like Godzilla, like in real life. So, and you can see that Connor and I, we're riding these worms. We're not afraid of no worms. We'll fucking ride a worm.
Yes, they should call us Down to Paradise City, with Kevin Bacon. Oh, man, I'm so excited because that's one of my favorite movies with creatures.
If you want to learn about worms, death worms, watch tomorrow. And these worms, these legendary worms, they're large, but they're not like tremors large, but these things
Like
are
Doom.
deadly, and
Like
we'll
Doom.
talk more about it tomorrow. So
You're gonna ride them for the spice.
So Bob, yeah,
Spice.
the movie Dune. The movie Dune,
Yeah, Dune.
they ride the worms for the spice. That's another good one.
And there's also Mongolian death worms in Star Wars. And one of my favorite games, the pod racing on the N64, was famous for one coming after you when you were in a tube.
Yeah,
No.
Bob, you got a lot of feedback on your end.
I got a lot of shit going on. I did everything wrong.
So Bob, let me ask you before we lose you again.
Yeah.
Is voodoo to you a religion, or is it just an evil thing? What is voodoo to you?
Well, Voodoo is Catholicism. It was from Haiti. They were African slaves. They brought over their Aboriginal, their indigenous religions, and then they became Catholic because they were converted to Catholicism. They took basically Catholics worship the crosses, the mare. They got all these objects. I'm not saying anything wrong with it. I'm a pagan, so I don't give a shit what you guys worship. But they worship all these objects as symbols of their god. So they've taken it one step further. Now they've added their own indigenous gods along with the Catholicism gods, and then they kind of mix things up with witchcraft. And basically, it's Catholicism on steroids / whatever's in the stuff with all the mucho idol worship. But then they kill chicken. They do sacrifices. But you got to ask yourself, they're not wrong, because if you're Jewish, they've kind of semi-abolished it now. But they also on Saturdays they would do their sacrifices. They're clean animal sacrifices. They clean beasts. They would sheep. Depends on what you want to pay for. You can pay for pigeons, birds of all sorts, of animal, whatever, as long as they're clean beasts. Sacrifices have been going on even in their religion, so even in Christianity. So there's nothing really wrong with them. They just haven't got the word from the rabbi says we're not sacrificing anymore on Saturdays. So they're perfectly legit if you think about it. They're not breaking any rules that nobody else is doing. You know what I mean?
Hey, I know you like to watch these shows pretty much right after, Bob, after it airs. So you're going to hear me pretty much say a lot like that. So you'll love that.
I will. I'm sorry, man.
It's been demonized because, it works and they live naturally off the land. They pretty much did that to the Native Americans too. They called them savages. No one is perfectly peaceful, but we have to find a balance.
Yeah, they're not eating babies. They're not breaking any rules. They're doing exactly what they did on Sabbath. Everything's the same. They just didn't get the memo that says, we're not killing no more chickens on Saturday no more. Like, what? We're still going to keep doing it. They probably eat the chickens.
Well, Dr. Wu, what should we do to Connor? I made a voodoo doll of Connor.
Well, let's give him some virility.
Should we squeeze his stomach?
Yeah, squeeze his stomach. We want him to put horns on his head. No, that's right. You got to put.
Well, we gave him a haircut.
Horns on his head for virility.
You should give me a nice beard, because I've been thinking a lot about Bob telling me that I got to take care of it and then let it grow. Because, the more hair you have, the more sunlight you can get, the more vitamins you consume.
Yeah, just don't shave. Everyone says, what's the secret? Oh, we'll just talk about it. Everyone wants to grow a beard. Not an embarrassing question for a lot of guys. They're like embarrassed to ask, but I say, don't be embarrassed to ask. How do you do your hair? Like, no. Just don't shave. It's going to be hell. It's going to suck. It's going to look bad. Just don't shave. Whatever, you have a t-shirt, just don't shave. No matter what happens, you sit in a parking lot, you're wanting to cry and scratch your face to death. Don't do it, because there will be a day that it turns to silk. I know it sounds weird, but there's a day when it turns to silk. It's like a broom. It's harsh on the face. Then all of a sudden, one day you wake up and it's soft as a kitten's freaking fur. Like, how did this happen? Oh, overnight done. So don't do it.
I wanna see if I can actually do a spell on Connor. So here's a video here that says, It's called "How Do Voodoo Dolls Work?" So let's see. It's only 3 minutes. Let's see what it says.
Little cloth dolls imbued with dark magic and linked by witchcraft to a real person. Whenever the voodoo doll is hurt, so is the poor soul who's tethered to the doll. The stories are grim, but are they true? Do voodoo dolls really?
Hold on a second, Bob. I'm gonna put you on mute for a second. Or not coming from him? Hold on, Bob. Is it coming from him?
Yeah, it's Bob for some reason, and it was a lot when I was talking, but now it's doing it with this audio too.
Really exist? And if so, can they really cause
Okay.
Dolls come from the religions of Haitian Voodoo or Louisiana Voodoo, but in fact, they don't have a prominent place in either. No, you see, voodoo dolls don't trace their origins to Africa or the Caribbean, but instead were likely first invented by Europeans.
Europeans?
Records show that the oldest known voodoo dolls come from Britain.
Britain? You British people.
Yeah, because the original voodoo people, their dolls and their idols were actually used to be positive. Like one, they would nail to upside down on a tree, and it would make the person leave someone that was bad for them. So like it was very interesting. And of course, between Blair Witch and then Bigfoot structures too. So I love linking them all together.
Now, Bob, you're Britain. Is that why Britain loves dolls? Since they're the inventor of the voodoo dolls?
I've never heard of them ever inventing the voodoo doll. That's new on me. I'm to be honest with you. I know that's a tradition that comes out of Africa, out of Haiti. Because it's a Haitian idea, and then no, I never heard of it coming out of Britain.
Well, let's hear more of this little video. Let's find out. I put it back on mute. I'm going to ride just a little bit to make sure I heard that right.
The oldest known voodoo dolls come from Britain.
The oldest known.
It wasn't uncommon for professional practitioners of magic, known as cunning folk, to make rag dolls of a witch and stick her with pins to hurt her and break her bewitching spells. So that's where the magic rag dolls stuck with pins got their start. But how did they become voodoo dolls?
Whoa.
When did the European ritual gain its association with Africa?
Okay, let's speed it up.
As modern voodoo practices.
Here, I'm gonna put it on 1.5 just to speed it up a little bit.
So nothing more than a distorted exaggeration of Haitian.
No, that's a bit too fast. We'll go to 1.25. Here we go.
Voodoo religion has very little to do with black magic, voodoo dolls, or zombies. Haitian voodoo practices began with slaves living in Haiti.
There you go, Haiti. That's the part you're talking about. When they were, unfortunately, they were slaves in Haiti, and that's where they learned how to do voodoo. Okay, here we go.
Combined elements of West African traditions from home and pieces of Roman Catholicism, which was the religion forced on them by their masters of the island. In the beginning of the 1900s, fiction writers began fusing old rituals like sticking pins in ragdolls with real voodoo practices, creating a modern image of the culture we associate with voodoo and witch doctors.
Which, that's what I'm talking about. Like Hollywood creating it, making it something that it really was never designed to be like. They made it more evil than it really was.
And it's not just voodoo dolls. Zombies are another aspect of voodoo.
Oh, yeah. You know, when we think of zombies, a lot of people think, what is the origin of zombies? You know, or the origin of zombies came from voodoo.
Yep.
Bob, can you hear us now?
Came from Haiti.
So,
Zombie, even the word zombie came from Haiti.
Yeah, the zombies culture started with the voodoo, because they say that a sorcerer can make you like you're dead, but you're not. But then the sorcerer could bring you back. Remember they made a movie, what's it called? The Serpent of the Rainbow? Did a pretty good job on that.
True story. Anthropologists went over to find out what was it they were doing. They were making zombies. They wanted to crack the code. What the hell do you mean by zombies? And they had these guys walking around that were dead, that were put into coffins, and they were alive, and nobody would talk to them, and they were kind of brain dead. They were like really mental fucked up. And they realized later that they were making a medicine from puffer fish. from the poisons of blowfish. They were using the poison glands of blowfish, and they were using a minute amount of their poison along with some other concoctions to turn them into a catatonic, like basically made them catatonic like this, like they were dead. They were alive the entire time. They were put into a coffin. They were nailed and put into the ground. They were alive and fully aware of everything that was happening, but they looked dead. Their blood pressure was down to 0. You couldn't tell if they were alive. And then once they pulled them out of the ground, they were so emotionally shocked, what you call PTSD, traumatics. They were just basically zombies. They were zombies. They were PTSD zombies. So yeah, that's where it came from.
Yeah. And then these soldiers and the white people that were not used to seeing just people in different form, these people that Dr. Wu's talking about, and just people on psychedelic drugs and using smoke and being face painted and in other entrancements. The soldiers tell this story, and then it comes back, oh, they're walking zombies. But like Dr. Wu said, zombies are real, of course. Look at our president. He's a walking zombie. I think he was one of the guys that was brain dead, and they got a puffer fish poison down in Rhode Island.
That's a way to go, man. That's on PTSD.
But Juan Torres, he said down there in a couple of the other islands in the Caribbean, it's called Santiera, and that's why I wore my Sublime shirt, of course.
Right here.
Dominican Republic, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and I know a bunch of other islands as well.
Now, Alan, when you said earlier that you feel voodoo is being used for evil, is it because you've seen people personally use voodoo for evil, or is just what you, when you studied, that's what you came up with?
I mean, it's all evil in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's opinion counts here. I mean, we don't want to say, I just don't think it's as evil as people make it out to be. But, everybody has the rights to their own opinion.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely some scary MFers in the Louisiana swamps, sacrificing humans that come into the swamp for voodoo purposes. So, yes, there are some dark purposes to it, too.
Hey, Bob, I'm gonna kick you out just one time, have you come back in, because the static is really bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really
it's really bad. I'm gonna rejoin too in a second.
Okay.
I'm tricked every day. 75% of the in Walmart are zombies. yeah. Well, you go to Walmart, it's a zombie country. Okay, even more evil, less evil. It's still evil, isn't it? Well, it's. I mean, everybody has a right to believe what they want to believe. This channel is not about one person's more believable than the other person. You know that, Tony. You know this channel, Tony. This channel is not about we just believe. But is the gun deadly, or is the person using the gun deadly? If you take away that gun, that person is still going to be evil. He's still going to find another weapon to hurt you. So I mean, any kind of a thing that a person can make evil, Tony. So I mean, I'm just saying what I'm studying is what I saw, that voodoo was just another way of a ritual of talking to the trees, talking to the environment, and the sacrificing stuff was not really practiced. It just came later on with the movies, and then you get a few bad apples to do one sacrifice or two sacrifice. Then all of a sudden, the whole religion is like got a stamp that they're known to sacrifice animals. Yes, they have. But listen, I don't want to get into a religion war with anybody. But technically, could you say that Jesus Christ was sacrificed? People blame voodoo. I mean, I'm not trying to say anything bad, but the church sacrificed Jesus and tortured him. And that's supposed to be a church about love and God and love each other, and that was about corruption, about seeing somebody more powerful. And like I said, I'm not trying to get anybody pissed off. I know everybody thinks religious is important, but technically, if you look down at it, you can say Jesus Christ was a sacrifice animal in a way.
Hey, Co.
He was a sacrifice animal.
Oh, 100%.
It was 100%, like he says, sacrificed animal. Yeah, he was a sacrifice. The best way to put it. Yeah. I mean, they broke the rules though, because according to the rules of sacrifice, it's supposed to be a clean beast, and humans are not clean, so they fucked that one up. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna kick myself off one more time. I'm gonna fix this. This thing's bad.
You're sounding good right now, though.
I know. I know. He was actually sounding better.
Yeah, he was sounding good. I moved away from my big window because the storm is intensifying, and my cat's getting scared right now too. She's out in a box crying. Sorry for her.
Let's hear a little bit more of this video. See? Exaggerated. Wow, you hear that? I like that. I like what he said there. That technically, zombies are not the evil, not the villains. They were the people that they're victimized. They were put in that state by people. And if you think about zombie movies too, usually in most zombie movies, the disease was created by man trying to make a weapon, a weapon of destruction. And by doing that, they created the zombies. So in a lot of ways, zombies aren't responsible for killing you. It's the people who created the disease.
Just like the doctor in Dr. Frankenstein. It's not the monster's fault. It's the doctor's fault.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it wasn't his fault. He didn't ask to be made. He just woke up and dealt with the problem of life.
Well, let's hear a bit more of this.
Okay, Eric, I'm good to go. I've got a whole new setup here, and my bars are great. So let you guys know I'm doing good. And also here, I popped in. I hear noise. I hear noise coming in from not my end, but from the other end.
Yeah, it might be Alan's, or it might be the rain from me. Alan's there's a little bit of an echo too for some reason.
Yeah, it's coming from Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be one of those echo kind of days. But here, what else to say here?
Cool.
Hey, it looks like Barack Obama.
It is.
And considering the island's history with slavery, these ancient zombie stories weren't all that far off from what many people in Haiti were experiencing themselves every day. So are voodoo dolls, and for that matter zombies, really an important part of the voodoo religion? No. But as long as books, movies, video games, and every other area of pop culture continues to tell stories about spooky, mystical voodoo magic, there will be some who continue to think of them as part.
Yeah. Hey, and let's not forget, Walt Disney made a cartoon called The Princess and the Frog. And what is the Princess and the Frog about? They change, is it her or him? Oh, they changed him into a voodoo, changed him into a frog. So even Disney is in on it that used voodoo for evil.
Yeah, I actually went to the Wishing Tree that is in Princess and the Frog. They actually based it on a real place in the Honey Island Swamp. And if anybody goes to New Orleans, I highly suggest to do the Honey Island Swamp tours because the Rougarou lives there. There's famous Bigfoot footage there and tons of voodoo. It is so cool. I was stuck out there in the Honey Island Swamp for a while. Magical place.
That's cool, man.
There's another movie that used voodoo, but there was an actual devil in it. It's one of Mickey Rourke's best movies, Angel Heart. If
Angel Heart.
Seen Angel Heart has a lot of voodoo in it towards the end where he's sitting, like, I can't remember, it was in church or something, with Robert De Niro who plays the devil.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
I saw it in my research.
And I'm not saying anything bad. I don't like to bring up anything. In fact, this is just an anthropological bullshit, fucking probably wrong point of view of looking at things. But I have noticed the weather has been. I'm just saying, his taking out areas that have had a past
of some foul play, like parts of Italy that had the Inquisition that killed thousands of Jews, is the same place that's getting pounded by large rocks of ice, like really fucking the place up. And especially around Vatican, they're going moving up towards Vatican City and all these other places. Now, Haiti, like Alan was talking about, played a little bit, in his opinion, played a little bit wrong with the whole idea of the voodoo, went a little bit overboard with some shit. They're getting hit, not once, but many times. Massive earthquakes.
We got a new follower. We got a new follower on D Live.
Cool.
Bickender Deek. I hope I'm probably saying it wrong. Bickender Deek, and he donated a lemon. I still don't know what these lemons are, but thank you.
They definitely represent something. D Live pride, man. Keep going strong. But like Rob was saying, Haiti is definitely getting ripped by hurricanes and plagues. And then now their president just got assassinated. Then they just rolled in a bunch of the experiments. So it's not good, man. They were using holistic medicine, and now they are suffering.
Haiti got an earthquake on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Again, I'm not a doom and gloomer. I'm not a biblical fucking prophecy guy that the Bible's coming true. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's some correlation, man. Now, even a non-Christian, I'm a pagan, and even a non-Christian can say, dude, you gotta say things that make you say, all the places historically that had all these things that kind of how Alan said about the Haitian voodoo use, they're getting hit the hardest. And other places getting hit pretty hard. It has a history of foul play. So I'm just kind of wondering, man. Just wondering a little bit.
It's either foul play and karma, or it's misinterpretation and sermon and harp. But I know you get into something good, Eric, because I just saw that comment.
No, yeah, I wanted to ask Carla, is she talking about the 2020 movie called Spell? I see here, 2020 Spell. A man crash lands in a rural apology and awakens in an attack of a traditional hoodoo practitioner. He desperately tries to break free from the dark magic and saves his family from a sinister ritual before the rise of the blood moon.
Yep. I have that on my list. It's a good one.
Wow.
I think it's on Netflix. What's the main character's name again?
Stars Omar Hardwick.
Yeah, Omari Hardwick, I think his name is.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. I try to watch everything in the Louisiana swamp area, and that of course called my name. But yeah, Carla Webster, man, I knew she was gonna come through after that wildling recommendation. You can always count on her for something good.
Tony says it's fine just to talk. Question that it is fine, Tony, just to talk and have questions, but do not try. Is my advice. I mean, whatever anybody says, it's good advice. Is nobody needs to argue anything about anything, because this is all about having the conversation. That's all we're doing.
But that guy advised us not to do it.
What? See, I don't see Connor going. His back is hurting. Look,
honestly, it's scary, but I know you did. Hopefully go through the full process of putting it on. And I know I have, built a little protection circle around me. I know the dome will protect me. So it take a lot to even get through my cloud of smoke.
Remember, guys, you can buy your own Connor voodoo doll, or you can do whatever you want to him at night, only for $1,000. So you put $1,000 in my PayPal with your address. I make sure you'll get a Connor voodoo doll, and you too can control Connor.
Oh man,
yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, it's all fun and games, but can you just not take a dart and throw it at my picture, please?
Okay,
I get the idea.
I feel my bag creaking a little bit.
I don't think a piece of picture.
No,
this cow doll is going to work.
Hey, the idea is powerful, though. You're just going to have to
just take the damn doll down.
You're going to have to set it next to a cool plant here soon, or give it a glass of hot cocoa. Because we need balance. Yes.
Well, I'm gonna pull this up.
We'll
I
take
actually
it with you on your Bigfoot trips too. Though.
I'm gonna
be kind to it.
up,
Be
guys.
rewind.
Right here, I have. It's called 11 Fascinating Facts You Didn't Know About Voodoo. So let's check this out. Let's see what it says. Maybe there's something that we never heard of before. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I've never heard of
But
it.
I thought it'd be interesting to see what it says. Okay, voodoo is misunderstood spiritual practice dating back thousands of years of uniting many of the African diaspora, much more involved than just the misrepresented exercises involving dolls and witchcraft. Here are some facts that those who do not practice this form of spirituality might not know. You know what? I was actually thinking the other night. There's yoga classes. People pay all this money for yoga. They get in shape and all that. They should come out with some voodoo classes, man. You know how much exercise those people do at those rituals, all that dancing going on? I bet you could lose a lot of weight and have a kick-ass weightlifting class. The voodoo class. I don't know.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Voodoo style dancing
of practices. It is a spiritual expression that combines the traditional religion with animism and spiritualism and joins indigenous African people together. Okay, let me see here. Here we go. Voodooism, two worlds. It believes in two interracial worlds, the visible and the invisible. It is in death that we are brought to the invisible worlds, and our ancestors serve as guides and protectors. So, in that spiritual world, the ancestors, they actually are like guardian angels, I guess.
Well, yeah, guardian angels. Yeah, and that would be their way of saying guardian angels. An indigenous way of bringing about a guardian angel. There you go. Yeah, I can see that.
Communicating with the spirits. Communication with lesser spirits, known as Uwa. And the two invisible world is done through prayer, animal sacrifice, and drum and dance ceremonies. They ask advice, learn from the experience, and connect with them on a spiritual level.
Many of us say our prayers right before we eat meat. So in ways, these practices have leaked through to pretty much everybody's way of life. That's why it's not as crazy as some people seem. But of course, it's been demonized. There's good vampires and werewolves out there too.
I mean, you could literally bring it down to Catholicism. You could hear the similarities. Like, well, technically, they're using a different way of saying it. What they're doing is they're praying to their mom and dad that maybe passed away or a relative, praying to them. I hope they're doing better. If you're watching me, praying to their spirit guides or their guardian angel. There's nothing that anybody doesn't do in Catholicism. That's where it comes from. It's the same thing.
Well,
yeah.
You guys remember the movie movie Major League, where you had that one guy who was having problem hitting the curveball, so he was like praying to, I can't remember, it was Allah, I don't know, praying.
No, it was his little god, his little idol,
and he needed to sacrifice the chicken. And they're like, we can't have him sacrifice a chicken inside the clubhouse. So they got him a KFC.
Yeah.
But the part that was kind of cool is right before he went up to bat, he basically called out to the spirit and said, "You don't fucking help me now, then fuck you forever." And then of course,
I don't need you no more.
I mean, they use a major voodoo in that movie, Major League, and I've heard that a lot of these players in the Major League are not all from America. They're from a lot of these other countries.
The Dominican Republic.
And they have a lot of strong voodoo ties. So there is more voodoo ties in baseball than any other sport out there. If you guys care.
Animism. Remember, they practice animism. When we talked about that with like anime, that's where that word comes from. Japan. all those other Asian countries. Animism, where there's earth spirits that live in the rocks. There's earth spirits that live in objects. There's spirits in everything that moves. Every tree, every plant, every animal is a vessel for something. It's animism. So it just translates. That's the indigenous part of the African culture because they're also animist. So if you have a Catholic that's also an animist, then you're going to have, like, when maybe Alan holds up his crucifix, well, that just means it's a representation of Jesus. Yeah. To you, that just is a reminder of what your faith is, as in they think it's a vessel holding his spirit, a piece of his spirit. It's an actual animist spirit. It's an object holding a piece of his spirit, which to them has way more magic.
Yeah.
But it's the same. If you think about it, it's kind of the same.
It is. It is.
I don't know.
I'm so glad you brought that Major League up, though, because, I'm from Cleveland Indians till I die, Roll Tribe. I used to work for the tribe. I was a photographer, and they're trying to change it to, the Cleveland Guardians, which I like that name as well. But they're trying to get rid of the natives that lived here, just like they got rid of the mound builders who came before them. But yes, that is one of my favorite parts. Dennis Haysbert plays the character. I can't think of his name right now. Sadly, but is the best part of Major League. And, Major League or baseball is a very superstitious sport. And one of the comments said it was created by the Freemasons. Well, it was created even before that, but the Freemasons, of course, have their hands in everything. But not all of it is negative. Not all of it is positive. It's how you use it. But yes, the baseball diamond is the same logo as the Freemasons. And the Freemasons logo shows the dome. So, there's truth in everything. So you just have to fight through it. Don't let anything taint your spirit, though, because that's what can only not be calculated. I'm getting
what's inside of you.
It would be a dangerous warning.
It's what's inside of you. It's whatever's inside of you. You could come from anywhere, and they can be as bad as they can be, but you could be a good person just hanging out with them, but inside is good. So you can interpret things differently. So, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I was a Freemason. So that's why I know I'm not a bad guy.
My grandfather was a Freemason too, or my great-grandfather. And then I know a lot of Freemasons. The leaders of Sawdust Beasts from Sasquatch are Freemasons. George Washington was a Freemason. But there are a lot of people that are even above them, names we don't know, that go beyond labels and classification. They use these groups just to stir people up. But, of course, there are evil people pretty much in every angle.
Everywhere.
Look. That's
but there's more better people. There's more good.
Look at the number.
13. No fucking way. Of course he's got a 13 on there.
A 13?
Of course there's a 13 on there. Yeah, okay. It makes sense now.
And look,
awesome.
his jersey is a 13.
They do that.
Never knew that.
Yep.
Was it 13 originally, though? I don't know. I don't think it was.
Yeah, they might have changed it.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
I have the DVD over there. You'll have to find the VHS, though, because that's the original form. Mine would probably be after.
He might have went the way of Bill Murray in the movie. I've seen a lot of that. That's weird. Huh.
I did not. Yeah, that shocked me because that first picture had 13 on there, just nice and bright, like brand new.
It's funny to me because
right on the back of the chair.
I just watched Shyamalan, one of Shyamalan's movies, Night Shyamalan. Eric, you did a thing on him.
Yeah.
It was something Night Shyamalan. Was it the Lady in the Water? You guys remember that one? I'm watching it now. In fact, I had to pause it to come to do the show. I'm watching it, and I'm sitting with some other Brits, and we had to stop counting the 13s. It's just like the guy's room. The first scene, he's in the 13, or the white feather just flew on me.
Wow.
White feather just flew on me. Anyway, did you guys see that fly on me? It's right
I have to watch the playback.
A white feather flew on me. No, 13. The 33s. I'm like, this is insane. I'm like, okay. Anyway, continue on with the show. A white feather flew on me.
It's just kind of cool.
There he is with the serpent as well.
Well, let's see what's next on that list. Let me go back to that list.
Dennis Haysbert later became the All-State guy for everybody that likes little small trivia, and he was awesome in the unit.
A white feather flew on me.
Here we go. Where voodooism is practiced. Voodooism is more popular and practiced in West Africa, Haiti, Louisiana, and in places that hold the remnants of West African slavery, such as Cuba, Brazil, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic, in which a lot of the baseball gets players from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and Brazil.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Francisco Lindor, Carlos Baerga, Sandy Alomar Jr., Robbie Alomar Jr.
And if anybody lives in the Northwest, I mean, this is not huge, but in Portland, they actually have a donut place called Voodoo Donuts.
Yeah.
Where you go in there, they got donuts shaped as voodoo
Really
dolls
good
and
donut.
And you know, over large donuts with cereal on top of it. So
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of and every time you want to get voodoo donuts, there's always like long lines. I mean, it's very, very popular. And and to be honest with you, the donuts ain't all that, right? But people like the name voodoo.
And it's after dark too, so it's kind of cool that they're like after dark, cookies and donuts. I'm pretty sure there was one by my college at Bowling Green as well, and everybody just loved it. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, let me see here.
Voodoo donut, I love
them. If they have a signature voodoo donut, I'm trying to.
You're gonna show it, yeah.
Here. I'm trying to see. They have.
Show it.
Let me see. Is it here?
Oh God, I love your donuts, man.
M&M's.
They're famous for like stuff like this. They do like cereal, but they actually have. Is that it right there?
Oh my God, man.
That's a good one.
Wow, they have the best donuts, man. Like I think it's like two guys in a small brick fucking room. Who they got a line down the corner. And they I don't know, Eric. I think they make great donuts, man. Eric likes the Krispy Kremes. I'm a fucking.
No. I don't like Krispy Kreme.
Oh, I think okay. You like Voodoo?
No, my wife. They love Krispy Kreme. I think they're
women like Krispy Kremes.
Too sugar.
I'm just really happy.
Look at the belly button.
Oh, that's pretty funny. But sadly, that spiral right there is not a good thing. I want everybody to look it up on the FBI, CIA website.
Interesting.
Of course, they put it on there.
No, it's another adopted symbol that they've stolen.
I know.
It's a stolen symbol. What it means, I know it sounds bad. It's actually that swirl you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. It's Hebrew. It's early Hebrew. There's Hebrew. Then there's early Hebrew, which is actually like kanjis or symbols. What that swirl, people don't know that. And I saw that same thing, by the way, because you were correct to say that. I know exactly what you're talking about. That swirl is not bad. It was adopted like the swastika. It was taken and purposely. It means house. It means dwelling. So that circle means dwelling. It's your house. It means the house. So they'll use it for like they'll have a symbol for God, and then they'll have that swirl next to it, which means God's house, like in the Hebrew way it goes from right to left. And then, of course, they stole it. All the bad guys, they used it for bad symbols, and the triangle now is used for this, and this is used for pedophilia, and this is used for white supremacy. And I'm like, they've taken all the ancient symbols and completely poo-pooed them. Bad. So you are correct to say that because you're right. That's the symbol they use now. But before that, it's Hebrew. It means house. And in native culture, that meant earth.
Yep.
Or house.
I've seen native pottery before, of course. And yeah, it is sad that now it's adapted to bad things. And, in history, there's a lot more positivity behind it. Even like the Fibonacci spiral, too. They're trying to turn that into bad things. But that is our creator's code, the blueprint to our DNA, to everything. the double helix, the triple helix of Bigfoot, angel DNA, the cure to everything.
Yeah, so but like you said, you got to be careful because you could be thinking that is in your mind. You're a historian, you're a symbolist, you know and you've got this donut, and somebody else just watched the FBI list, and then you walk outside the donut shop and get your ass beat because of a donut symbol.
It's pouring pretty hard, guys. Here. Let me show it out the window real quick, and let's see if
Let's see what it looks like.
If it looks crazy. I don't know how it's gonna look, through the camera, but through your eyes.
You can see it.
Let's just
wow.
It's been bad.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty freaking strong winds.
Check it out.
I don't want it to wet my laptop too much.
Check
but yeah, it's still just tropical storm winds. It's not rattling the place too much, but it is strong, and I feel bad for the people with tarp on their roof and all the animals outside. I hope they found shelter, and they could sense it coming, so they would get to where they need to get.
Good.
Let's read this one. What is voodooism? It is community religion rooted in healing and doing good to others. Tenets that are central to the religion. It was a source of strength for African slaves who had to endure fierce conditions when they found themselves uprooted and moved around the world as chattel. And back in the slavery days,
yeah,
they were outlawed. Africans were actually outlawed to do anything that looks like voodoo related because it went against I don't know, the white man's religion, the God religion.
Yeah.
And they were punished for actually, if they found a doll on these people, even though they were using for spiritual reasons, for good, if they were caught doing that, they were hanged. They were tortured.
Well, they were animist, remember? So they came over as animist and spiritualists. So every rock, every object, everything they have can be used. But I'm going to stick with Alan again on this one. If you've got a doll of somebody with their hair in it and kind of weird shit, it's not kind of creepy on the creepy list. You're not exactly doing good things.
Really?
If I got Connor doll and he's not hanging out with me and I'm just like, here you go. If you're sitting alone in a room with a Connor doll,
girls only, man. Girls with good intentions only.
Yeah.
I'll give him more of a haircut.
I can live with that.
It's like you got Eric sitting in a room cutting up your Connor doll. There's a whole lot of things, maybe a rock or a plant, but you don't need somebody's doll with their hair and their clothing. Something tells me it ain't good.
That'd be something if somehow, my trailer rolls over and I end up perishing. And
right?
we would have it literally on live documentation. Eric's chopping my head off with a dang voodoo.
That's a guilt trip, man. That's a guilt trip. Like that movie,
I hope it doesn't happen, but it could.
It's like that movie, right? The Craft, where these 4 girls, technically, they all have somewhat of a power thing, but when they're all together is when it works. So maybe with all 4 of us here, we're making this work. That's not good. I should stop playing with it.
I'm going to give it some good karma. Now, I don't know about you, but I would take the picture off the doll. Just kind of fold it or just set it aside. And like Connor said, put it next to a plant.
Put it next to a plant. Yeah, I gotta find that picture that he got that from. I gotta find the original one because it literally might be from New Orleans. So he might have been stirring up something that.
Yoda, the green screen. You can't see Yoda. So I was
that's
Yoda.
Yes, I'll take Master.
There
Yoda,
you go. That's a little bit better. Yeah.
Okay, here, the Mandalorian. I'll put him on the Mandalorian.
There you go.
And then
Okay.
And then on the
Mandalorian.
I get to get candy. Look.
Yes.
There you go.
That
You go.
I feel that. Oh yeah. I'm less hungry.
Yeah, and put it next to a nice plant. Well, let's
Please.
take Alan's advice on this one and just
Oh yeah.
get it over to a plant.
All right. Now let's go to this one here. How voodooism foreshadowed Haiti's revolt independence.
Oh yeah.
Okay, a voodoo priest, Dutty Bokman, started the Haiti Revolution of 1791 after stating prophecies that certain slaves that he named will be leaders of a resistance movement that would free other slaves.
Oh
This
yeah.
was seen as the catalyst of the subsequent slave revolt.
Did you know that the most people don't know this, but the Haitian Revolution in the 1700s saved the United States of America's revolution, saved the America's revolution because on the way to America to fight the Americans that are fighting for independence, they were told to stop by Haiti because Haiti was in full blown revolt. And so when most of the British ships had stopped around Haiti to stop that first, figured it'd be a day and a night, real quick, jump in, jump out. End up having some of their ships burned down. It turned out to be a hell of a fucking battle. There was no ships leaving the port of Haiti, British ships. So America did not have that second wave of British soldiers come in. They were stuck in Haiti. So Haitians people don't know that they kind of helped create the United States of America. Maybe that's why they're being punished.
And that's awesome. Respect to Haiti for that. And now you go down to Miami, it's mostly Haitian people. It's pretty crazy. Right? Go watch Bad Boys 2 or Too Fast, Too Furious. You get to see them in action packed. But of course, I know Hollywood probably demonizes them in that way too. But yes, I've seen it myself. There's Haitian gangs everywhere down the 305 and the 504.
Haitian, Jamaican, everybody, Colombian, you name it, all the island gangs.
Oh yeah, and then you got the Alabama gangs coming down, the Hick boys. I find myself in between the two.
Yeah. God damn it. Be careful down there.
I'm just a big bull hunter.
Yeah. Well, now I guess the gods are punishing people. So, stay inside. Stay underground. Stay away from the sky for a little bit. Everyone's getting what for. Thunder, lightning, wind, waves, crashing. I love it.
100%, man. You got to watch out during hurricane season. And Louisiana, Hurricane Katrina. A lot of people said the voodoo stirred that storm up a lot. And after storms like this, there is an array of supernatural events and then cryptid encounters and then UFO sightings as well. So everything is linked, I believe. It's all frequencies and vibrations, of course.
Because you're inviting something in. You're going to invite something in, it's going to come in. So, like you said, maybe they brought that in. Oh, no, you're not, man. Damn. You stop playing with voodoo dolls. Enough with the dolls.
Sorry.
We just saved Connor's life.
That's too big. You covered the whole doll, Bob.
I'm protected. That's why I've got a feather land on me.
Well, let's see.
Just because of you playing with games.
That's crazy.
Voodoo doll games. Here we go. Oh, what's up?
You wouldn't think Eric would have learned from all the horror movies he's watched.
If I had a damn picture of Eric, I'd be putting needles in it.
Child's play, man. That's how Chucky got cursed. You know, he might stir something up in his own play.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Eric. Now be careful. Connor's right. In magic, did you know that if you put a spell out and they have a protection, that equal force bounces back at you? Eric, you're in trouble because I've got a feather landed on me.
Those pest dispensers are going to be coming.
Whole army of Pez dispensers marching down the street at your door.
Alan,
Yeah.
everything you've heard of us talking, I know we haven't let you jump in a lot. We apologize, but is there anything you wanted to add with what we were saying?
It's got the deep thought.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's all failed. I mean, voodoo is something nobody should play with. You know.
Well, I see that. I mean, it's like the Ouija board. It's like, you know, if you play with the Ouija board, you know, it looks fun. You can buy it at a kids section store in a Walmart, in the Toys R Us. There it is in the kids section. Board games. There's a Ouija board. You know, it's like it's being sold not to adults. It's being sold to kids because board games are in the kids' toy section. You just gotta know you're playing. I pay.
100%. It's dangerous, man. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. The Blair Witch Project, of course, Bloody Mary. There's a lot of things that became very real for us as young kids and teenagers that were surrounded by voodoo. You know, I was carving crazy things into trees and doing seances in graveyards. So I know all about it, man. That has stirred me up a lot. And I've just tried to keep a positive path and walk the light, you know, but I've seen a lot of darkness in my path too. But just like everybody in the path of Haiti and West Africa and Louisiana, you have to, you know, find your light.
Yeah, I mean, especially when people they get a little inebriated, they microdose, and then they start playing around with the Ouija board because you're kind of lit a little bit up, and so now you're kind of welcoming a little bit more than usual if you were sober. You know, it's like when you're a kid and you have that homeless guy down at the corner, but you got a good name for him. He's a good person, a good friendship, and he buys you the beer as a kid, and you throw him a couple extra beers. It's like inviting that guy over. You know, it's like, hey, let's invite him over to drink with us tonight. You know, it's not going to end well. It's the same thing as a Ouija board.
No, Bob, you are 100% right on that.
It don't end well.
We've always seen parties where some reason one of your guys bites somebody they shouldn't have invited. Nobody knows them, and then there's a fight that breaks out with this person.
Yeah, that's the Ouija board. That's the same thing. That's as Alan said. That's what he thinks voodoo is. It's like inviting the guy that buys you the beer, the home drink with you.
Now, Bob, Juan Torres says, you know, you're kind of lucky, Bob, because first he wrote, "Oh no, Voodoo Bob," right? But then he wrote, "Bob has a spirit around him with a white feather, so you're protected."
Yes, landed on me.
But Juan Torres, if you also spend $1,000 in PayPal, you will get a Bob Wood voodoo doll.
Oh God!
Thanks to him in the UK.
Oh, that's
Juan
so
Torres
sad.
is the man. He knows the knowledge, man. He knows there's many more continents and that there's so much beyond what's known in this world. You know, this world is so much bigger than they tell us, guys. That's all I have to say. You know, there's a heaven above us, and there's thousands of continents. Mammoths are not extinct. Voodoo is not as evil as they try to portray it.
Well, let's see what happens when they attempt to ban voodooism. In 1685, France banned any practicing of African religion in its colonies. Slaves had to be converted within 8 days of their arrival, with many baptisms taking place. The religion did not die. However, it simply merged with the newly adopted Catholicism to give the impression of conversion. So basically, in France, They say, yeah, you can come over our country, but you ain't gonna bring your religion. You're gonna have to practice our religion within 8 days.
Yeah, it reminds me of Christmas, because Saturnalia, technically it's a pagan holiday. It's a get together. It's a pagan thing. Christmas isn't really Christmas. Christmas, it's a pagan holiday. And then the Catholic Church just turned it into a Christian holiday. They kind of stole it and kind of put their little spin on it. This is Easter now. This is this day. And they kind of, we hit it too. Pagans hit it too. Same as the Africans. They hid theirs too. It's everybody that's pagan hides their religion somehow. For some reason, it's easy to hide, especially with the Catholic Church.
But where did the term voodoo originated? The word voodoo comes from the West African Fon people from southern Benin, and it means spiritual entity.
Ooh.
Yep. I also heard that it means spirit and ancestor as well, the word voodoo. So yeah, it's crazy that just trying to connect with our ancestors, learning and giving our prayer and thoughts and everything is connected. So everything's trying to honor our ancestors. That's the path I walk. So it's crazy that they try to demonize it. And I think the demons are the ones trying to intercept us from contacting our ancestors. So it's a weird conundrum that we find.
It's a nice little spin. It's the conquering nations that, force their religion on you. Then you got to hide yours with theirs and blend it in. Pretty soon you've got this thing called voodoo, or you've got some other secret weird ass, or you're meeting at the Bohemian Grove and having a great time under an owl's head. Everybody hides their religion in the end. But we'll find out what happens later. Who's right?
Well, let's see what this one says.
I know that a lot of whatever they're doing over on that shit is evil, and they are not looking out for the spirit, and they're trying to live forever through dark ways, which I rather live my life in the spirit form and then enter, the kingdom of heaven in its next way, because I think that is just the next chapter, and that's ascension and transformation. And that's what they're trying to hide, and that's the wall they're trying to build in front of that bridge.
Oh yeah, they sold themselves. They signed on for the other job. They signed on for the I'm going to get lots of money, but you have to play this role job, and that role job is not good in the end.
Not at all.
They're giving their money up front. Here's your money up front, but in the afterworld, you're going to suck. But here it is for now. This plane is existence.
Well, let's see here. Protecting from persecution.
Ooh.
Voodoo practitioners have historically survived several attempts of others trying to subdue the religion by burning shrines, forcing conversion to different religions, and beating its clergy. They are now protected in Haiti thanks to the country's 1987 Haitian constitution. God, it took to 1987 to have this actually a constitution. That's wow.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that's working out now. Since their leaders are getting shot and they're getting wiped out with earthquakes and heavy rain. So, well, I hope they're doing okay. Oh, we lost Connor. The storm. Oh shit. Shit. Let's get some positive waves for that doll you made.
Well, the doll's on you now. So here we go. Urban legend. Urban legend. The myth of the voodoo doll is a tool to bestool a curse. It's something that has been propagated by popular culture in Hollywood in particular. This doll pertains a type of African folk magic called hoodoo. They have a very little place in the religion and are not used by the majority of the practitioners. So basically, the to do this for evil is made up by Hollywood.
Yeah,
it was never in the practice. Hollywood made it sell books that looks good. Now it doesn't mean that if somebody does have evil spirits, evil power, they're just, without a doll, they could probably do the same thing.
Oh yeah, they can do the same thing without a doll.
Better with the doll.
Well, yeah, and then you're doing animist religion or magic. So you gotta I mean, I don't see any good having a doll of anybody because I just don't see there's any good in it. What are you going to do that's good? You're going to give them something good?
Who would not want a Dr. Voodoo doll? Doesn't everybody want a Dr. Voodoo doll?
I just can't see any good being done with that doll.
Well, let's see this last one.
A grown, sweaty man in a room with my picture makes me a little bit like, I don't know about that. Don't make me feel very good.
Let's see this last one. Protect and serve. The Zangbito are traditional voodoo guardians of the night in Togo and in Benin. They patrol the streets in outfits that resembles haystacks and were the primary law enforcement in these areas until the establishment of official law and order.
Huh. Oh. Well, I've never heard of that. Wait, what? That's weird. They dress as haystacks? How do you dress as a haystack? Like you put your arms through you walk around with a bale of hay on you?
Now, Carla wrote, the voodoo doll isn't used for good. That's why most practitioners probably wouldn't use one. Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, honestly, a grown man playing with dolls, a grown woman playing with dolls. I mean, God can manifest reality. Yeah, that's true. Well, here, I found another video. I mean, I don't know if it's even good or not. It's called Voodoo Magic. What really is it? Origin, the practice of voodoo, and the casting of spells. Let's see. Let's just check this out a little bit.
Okay.
And let me make sure I have a speed up to 1.25.
Yeah, and make sure everyone, let's all send out Connor some positive waves. He is in the middle of a hurricane, so
yes, he is.
He just got kicked off.
They probably got a power line down, a pole line down. So
he's not in the sidebar, so his internet's off. So we'll see.
And trust me, he loves to be on. So
here
we go.
Voodoo magic, and you have decided to search the internet to see if all these things are true. Congratulations for landing on this channel because most of the things you have already heard about astrology, voodoo magic, voodoo symbols, and voodoo rituals and spells are about to be clarified. Do you want to learn more about voodoo magic? Then you have come to the right place. Learn the history of the voodoo religion and obtain facts about voodoo. Here we separate myth from fact and provide information about the reasons why voodoo is such a misunderstood religion. Hold your own in discussions about voodoo loa. However, before I give you facts about voodoo, I will give you a brief history of this religion and tell you the reasons why it has become one of the most misunderstood of religions in the world.
Okay.
I hope that by the end of the video, you will be able to hold your own at a conversation when people discuss the topic of what voodoo magic is. Defining voodoo magic, let me start by saying that the portrayal of African voodoo or other voodoo religious facts is in the mainstream media not very accurate. Most of the voodoo magic definitions we are accustomed to showing the religion as being dark and mysterious and deserving of different condemnation. They revolve around sacrificing animals, casting spells to harm others, and using dolls for individuals to get their way. However, when you open yourself up and seek the truth about this religion, you will start to realize that all these depictions are not accurate. The real voodoo magic can be separated into three major types, with each one being influenced by the place where it is practiced.
Okay.
The first type can be found in West Africa, where estimates indicate that it is practiced by close to 30 million people.
Wow, this is that number. 30 million people practices.
Okay.
30 million. I mean, that's a lot of people.
You are likely to find Ghana voodoo. Another brand of voodoo that has become popular is the Haitian voodoo, which makes use of Haitian voodoo spells and Haitian voodoo symbols. Apart from being influenced by Haiti religion and culture, this voodoo now has a substantial Christianity in Haiti element. African voodoo rituals are still a big element of this practice. You will also hear about the Louisiana voodoo magic, a unique type which is practiced in Louisiana and other parts of southeastern America. This kind of voodoo has now been influenced by practices brought in by French and Spanish settlers. This is also influenced by Santeria, which refers to priests in the Santeria religion, which is associated with Spain. Both the Haitian voodoo and the Louisiana voodoo rely on spirits known as voodoo loa, which is sometimes spelled LWA. How old is voodoo? We all know that the voodoo religion has its roots in the African continent, but many of us still ask, when did voodoo start? No one really seems to have a specific answer as to how old voodoo was. For me, this could be an indication that it is possibly as old as humankind.
What do you think of that, Bob? Old as humankind?
Sure, it's animism. Animism's like the first one.
Chocolate Cheese is sending good vibes his way. Perfect.
Yeah, sending some good vibes.
Hopefully Connor is okay. Sending positive vibes, brother. Yeah, send those positive vibes. People, send it. Because we in the beginning of the show we put that it was the weather storm at that moment was at 65. When it hits 75, then it can be considered a hurricane storm.
Hurricane, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I hope he's okay. I hope that everything's going okay right now. Poor guy, man. Especially we're fucking around we're just talking about voodoo, so and he's good. He's got good karma. There's nothing bad gonna happen. He'd be okay.
Yeah.
If not, he'll end up on Oz. His trailer will be picked up and taken to Oz. Well, he'll be on the yellow brick road.
Well, the good news
with
is
the Tin Man.
When we first looked at his thing, the miles per hour is at 65. It went down to 60. So actually, that's pretty good that it's going on the downward. It's not going up to the 75. It's actually going
they
down.
usually slow down when they hit shore. So hopefully it's slowing down. It'd be okay. Hopefully he'll be okay. As old as mankind. How do we know? That's a good question. How do you know?
Yeah, how do we know?
Whatever the narrative is. It's whatever the narrative says.
That the religions made it to the other parts of the world, including the Americas and the Caribbean, during the 17th century as slaves carried it from Africa to other parts of the world. And then voodoo? There is often confusion regarding the difference between voodoo and voodoo, and I thought that I must take some time to deal with the voudon definition and voodoo rituals. In actual fact, the term voudon, voodoo, and voodoo mean the same thing. All the words mean the same thing as the term voodoo. Even though the voodoo religion is practiced in different ways as people move into the diaspora from the place where the religion was originally practiced, the practices still have common elements. Voodoo magic. When you look at the voodoo religion from a distance, it looks like a religion that is far from Christianity. However, a closer look when dealing with how to practice voodoo at home will start to show that there are many parallels, as a number of Christian practices have been included when teaching people how to do voodoo.
Wow.
For example, when doing voodoo rituals for money, it is easy to see that the spirits play a central part in such rituals. Many of the important figures in the voodoo religion also have some counterparts in the Christian religion. The healing religion, voodoo magic. I am sure that by now you know that most of the things we see on television depicting voodoo as an evil religion are actually distortions that are far from the truth.
Whoa.
This is a life-affirming religion. It inspires those who participate in it to be better versions of themselves through an understanding of life's natural processes together with their own spiritual being.
Okay. So Alan, even after all that, Alan, after you hear all that, do you still believe that voodoo is more evil than we're just making it out to be?
It's a mask for.
It is a mask. So you still believe? Even I haven't proven enough to you that it's overrated being evil.
It is evil. It's a mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't convert them.
I did see the serpent right there. That was a pretty cool, scary imagery, of course.
How's it going there? Is it the storm that knocks you out? What is that? What's going on? How you doing?
The power went out. It was crazy. And then I went outside and made a little video. So I had to change my shirt, got a little soaked. But yeah, it's rocking, man. I feel bad for all the animals that have to go through this because I know they have a certain understanding, but some ways they don't have a protection.
No, it was the positive vibes that worked. We protected you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
Alan's got the crucifix.
So everybody in the chat, now you know when his next video comes up on his channel, his video was made between ours.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like a little.
Yeah, you missed the last part. You missed the part about they explain what voodoo is. So what I've got from that video was that beware of white girls with dreadlocks that are holding dolls. Because all I
wasn't gonna say something, but but it doesn't look. I'm serious. It doesn't look right when a white girl putting on dreadlocks and pretending like she knows voodoo magic. It just seems so fake. It seems
always
like
be
she's just
wary
doing
of that.
She wants to look. You know, it's more about the look and not about spiritual magic. You know what I mean?
Stay away from white girls with dreadlocks and that have dolls. That's what I'm getting out of that one. I mean, I was watching the lady pour wax, put needle. I'm like, I don't see anything positive yet. And the lady's talking about how I'm like, but you're showing white girls in dreadlocks with dolls in their hand, fucking with them, and one's holding a skull, looking all evil with dreadlocks. Like, why do they have to have dreadlocks? Is that prerequisite for voodoo? I'm confused by that.
Hey, some people have lighter skin that live in Jamaica and the Dominican Republic. So of course, skin color doesn't always define it.
No.
I would hate some person that comes just from the American background to just be abusing it. But
I know.
there's balance in everything. I don't fall for everything cultural appropriation because I've wore braids before. Am I a racist? No. I don't support this establishment. I don't think that makes me a racist either.
No.
I think that guy, holding the hand of Robert Byrd, though, that makes it.
I got two dreadlocks. Right here.
Man. No. Just like Lockbeard, who he comes in the chat a lot. He's known as Lockbeard because he has dreadlocks in his beard.
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool.
But we're talking about
I've been because of rain. I've been doing this because of rain.
We're talking about certain people who use it more as a dress up, like they don't they don't care about this.
No,
right? They just
those were
want to
actors.
look the part. They want to look sexy. They got the makeup on.
They were actors.
They're not wrong.
They literally used white models, like white blonde model girls with dreadlocks. I'm like, can you pick somebody a little more authentic than the college girl with the dreadlocks and the fucking doll pouring the wax on it? It scares me.
It's sad. It's sad. Marie Laveau, her gravesite gets vandalized all the time with graffiti and haters, and it actually has positive things behind it. Like you could, do this little ritual and have your dreams wish true, and hopefully those people use it as positive. But yeah, it's a very cool spot in New Orleans, but it's often closed because of these vandals. But right next to it is Nicolas Cage. He has a giant pyramid that he has as his gravestone because his ex-wife can't get that in alimony, so it's worth at least a couple $1 million. So he always has that to fall back onto. I don't know if it's made out of granite or some kind of rare marble. Something really cool though, and that's just a fun story. But I suggest everybody go to New Orleans before they really do these mandates, because they just said they are mandating stuff there. But before they really start locking down and have a process, sneak in, sneak out, or just go in with the vampires and go out a werewolf with the Rougarou.
Yeah. Go see these things before they're gone.
100%.
Everything's completely locked out.
Now, Bob, here's an article from the UK.
Ooh.
The UK, voodoo love spells. Love spells voodoo. So how do voodoo love spells work? Well, I guess first you will need 2 voodoo dolls. I guess you need 2 voodoo dolls. One for representing you, and the other for the character of your choice.
We'll go find some dolls.
Made from fabric or stuffing, for example, cotton. But although some people usually try to make dolls resemble the people they represent by casting voodoo doll spells, it really doesn't matter. So I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, magic link. You need something that is connected with a person of your desire. So, Bob, whoever you desire, you got to get something from them. A piece of clothing, a hair. You know, so, Bob, I don't know how you're going to do it, but you got to get something off the Queen of Britain. I know that's the person you want.
Okay.
Now,
Well,
she is CGI. It's going to be hard because we know the Queen of Britain is CGI. But
So is the
maybe-
Pope.
Maybe you get a piece of the green screen that they use for her.
Well, I'm looking for some voodoo dolls. I'm gonna create world peace. So I'm gonna try to find some voodoo dolls for that.
Please
Talk
do.
amongst yourselves.
So this type of voodoo love spell requires you enter a trance state. So you got to get into a trance state. It may
Trance.
seem complicated, but it's very easy depending on your mood. Your brain produces frequencies that are known as brain waves. There are different types of trance states, but you'll need to use deep relaxation to switch your brain waves to alpha. Or thing.
Yeah.
Now, Bob, I know it's going to be hard for you because the Queen is so sexy to you. I know that
She's sexy as
desire
hell.
of you to be with the Queen, but you're going to have to be calm when you try to do voodoo on her.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try. I'll try to do voodoo on her.
So basically, look.
The
Picture, are they hanging a voodoo doll?
Yeah, it looks pretty scary.
Doesn't it? That's not good. Look at this one. Damn. Damn, they're using a knife. Now, what people don't know, guys, that if you got a voodoo doll, right, a knife, they always say a pin is mightier than the sword. So instead of using a knife, use a pin. Bob, do you feel that? You feel that, Bob?
Ow!
Is
that
the
pin out of
mightier-
me.
Is the pin mightier than the sword?
Here's my voodoo dolls. Look, it's
Your
the evil
defenders.
Roman Empire oppressing the black people.
Yeah, the Romans burned down a lot of the voodoo, fortresses and stuff, and then later they protect them in their type of paperwork. So it's very silly how there's this cycle of dominion and then capture and then eruption, and then it goes back to for trying to be forgiven and then back to it.
Stop fighting, you two. We need world peace. Eric, this is bad. Go away, guys. Calm down.
Bob, I know
World
you can
peace.
do it. I know you can help
World
with world
peace.
peace.
Yes, this is the mighty Roman Empire.
I wish the Kraken came out and killed all the guys in 300, all of them, all the armies.
Oh
I
yeah,
know,
if
right?
you do it all at once. That would have been cool.
Got my white feather. I'm feeling good, Eric. Nothing can happen to me. Use
Are
your
you sure?
magic.
Are you sure?
Evil magic.
Okay, I'm gonna this might. I want where I gotta find it here first because it's.
What's that?
Hold on a second.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Jack McClellan. I'm working on a short film with him, and it is crazy, and it's going to be up this class, voodoo and the occult. But he also made a movie called Lost and Found, Altered Cortex Design. It's free on YouTube. It's like 11 minutes long. It is incredible. But yeah, he also directed Zillafoot, and I was in his scene. So, the connection of Kevin Bacon, the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, link us all. And I just passed 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube. I want everybody to please subscribe if you guys haven't. Of course, I've talked to a lot of you in chat, but some of you guys don't know that I actually do daily investigations. My most recent one is my best discovery yet, but I've also made some recent discoveries as well that you guys just have to stay tuned. It's very cool, and it's for education and entertainment purposes only. That's all I can really say. It is really cool, and I'm really tapping into the ancient frequencies. And if this was a video game, I really feel like I leveled up after this.
Nice, dude. Congratulations. Now you can do lives.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't talking about the 1,000 subscribers for leveling up. I was talking about this.
Oh yeah. But
I don't
with
give it. 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah,
Now,
the going live is going to be awesome. I can't
yeah,
wait.
when you get to go live, that's a bonus.
100%. I'm very thankful for that. But
yeah,
this discovery was, oh my gosh, I was trembling. 1,000 subscribers. I need 99 more for that plaque. I see a lot of people that are doing a lot less. So I'm just hoping I fall into the algorithm. On TikTok, guys, my video just hit 440,000 views. It's very crazy. And of course, it's the one of the rattlesnake, the serpent. So it's weird. It's weird balance. And of course, there was that 13,000 likes for a little bit. And I was thinking of Dr. Wu right there. And I was like, please get off of this, please.
That's good, man. That means you're favored by the guy.
I just applied for the TikTok Creator Fund. So everything now will be, if I get it, will be going towards that. And it just fuels the mission, man. I'm just trying to touch all the continents of this world, and the known world and the unknown world.
Very good. Soon Alan will be there with you, huh, Alan?
well, let's find out about this finding that you found. Let's see here.
Feet are still in the mud. I was looking at these footprints, but I think they're human. But then I saw this. I have not touched it yet. If this is an arrowhead, everything happens for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
This is my best discovery to date. I cannot wait to talk to some experts and see what era it came from. Wow. I saw a couple other pieces around here. I am gonna. Oh my gosh. No, it's a leap. You don't strike gold every time. But I can't believe it.
Yeah, I actually made a discovery this morning too. I found some pottery on legal ways, private land, the way it's supposed to be done. I'm making discoveries. It's very important. The mound builders, the Native Americans, prehistoric stuff. I'm really into Bigfoot, and I'm writing these books. I'm making these movies. I do these podcasts, but I'm really out here making, not making a name for myself, but I'm trying, man. I'm trying to pave a way. I just did a reading at the library. I'm doing what I can with my DIY, hillbilly, white trash, living out of a car, hobo, outcast, reject, paranormal researcher. That's who I am, man. I'm just a farmer. I'm a farm boy who's been to many cities.
Very good, dude. You're doing it. At least you're doing something. Yeah.
Now, where is this at? Now, this is Cambridge, Airy Swamps Road Trip to Eden.
Yeah, this is down here in Florida, in the Alamo Cave, a very famous Native American cave that also has carvings that might be from a bear or something even greater of a predator. But the story is the Crybaby Bridge back in Ohio, where I grew up. And this is one of the most important chapters in my first book, Eerie Swamps Road Trip to Eden. And I grew up, going to this Crybaby Bridge pretty much all the time. And one kid on my bus told scary stories about the girl that the story, originated from. And it's just horrific. And it's really scary just going back into time of Irma's house, the witch's ball, and, of course, Crybaby Bridge. Because they all just go into, like, the woman threw her baby off the bridge. The woman killed her family in the attic and then put him down the coal chute and then hung herself. And then the witch's ball, she poisoned her family with the arsenic and then threw them all in a well. So literally 3 mad witches all in the same area within a couple miles from one another. So Crybaby Bridge, it's a giant bridge, a railroad that's 50 feet up. And then Irma's house is where she killed her family, and you have to go in through the cellar. And of course, now it's probably all boarded up. But when I return to Ohio, I'm definitely going to go back and make a video. I'll go back during the day and just walk around there casually. But back in the day, you had to go at night. You have to park way down the street because all the neighbors would know what people are up to, and they just call the cops. And then the neighbors would send dogs and shoot at you. And I've been shot at and nicked before, and things are crazy over there in Valley City. But then the witch's ball is very cool too. It's a granite ball that the woman killed her family after they were harassing her for having a child before being married, and then the man left her, so they called her, a bunch of names. So she ended up killing him with arsenic, and she had enough arsenic to wipe out the whole city. So that could have wiped out my bloodline, and that would have been so wild. But yeah, his ball, Crybaby Bridge, and Irma's house up in Northeast Ohio. But I have 3 chapters about all 3 of them and the stories that I've encountered. But that's where all my paranormal research really started. I love the cryptids and Bigfoot and the Lake Erie Monster, but I was going into haunted houses and doing this witchcraft crap long before, hunting and hiking.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, your experience, dude. You put in the time.
Yeah, it's very fun, And then it's really cool because recently I've had a couple good interviews, big interviews. Bigfoot Odyssey was a great platform. That was on Missing Person Mysteries with Steve Stockton, and they are incredible, and they're having me back. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's good to see you start," and I definitely appreciate people being there for me and stuff like that. But God dang, I've been at this for years. My whole life I've been going at this and making videos, and then let alone even podcasts. I've been making podcasts since back in the day doing MMA, mixed martial arts podcasts on I'm trying to think what the website's called. It's slipping my mind right now. Dang it, of course. It's like Blogspot or something. Dang it, it's on the tip of my tongue, of course.
You get it.
But yeah, it's an MMA podcast, and then go on Spotify and Apple Music. I've done a lot of YouTube stuff, but a lot of people were based on Instagram. So just research, Bigfoot Anonymous or Bigfoot Anon or Connor Flynn. But yeah, definitely check it out. And I appreciate people, thinking I'm a rookie, and I am a rookie compared to some people. I put some time in.
Yeah, you're like, I appreciate it, but I'm not a rookie.
Well,
been in the field for a while. But
I don't even consider anybody experts out there. It's a lot of the stuff is just luck. I mean, some people might be out there more than others, but you hear stories all the time. People out there first time ever, and they see something. It's a lot of it is good old fashioned luck. If we were all experts, right? If we were all experts, if they're truly experts, then I'm sorry, they would actually have a paranormal con on camera, a Bigfoot in their things. Nobody is an expert. We all just do our best and trying to get our way to find evidence or proof that something does exist.
Well, it's destined. You either got it or you don't. It's I always believe in predestined. It's like walking out and seeing a fucking UFO. A piece of me says that thing was waiting for me to come out to see it. As like for me, like a Bigfoot could be for a person to see. It's timed to perfect. It's just like, oh, there it is. Why of all the times now they pop up? So it's kind of like that. I feel like that.
I think
the destiny part.
It's kicking up again, guys.
Hear that?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Show us, man.
Oh,
sure. Give him big screen. Give him big screen. Let me see it.
Oh man. That's pretty cool.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's roaring. It's shaking my trailer now. It might reach hurricane speeds.
Now, what you should do, Connor, is record the rain sound for 24 hours, then change your channel into a 24-hour rain sound. Seems like those channels get a lot of views.
Yeah, people love just getting lost in those. I hope everybody took my advice from the last show. CE5, those meditations, you can summon UFOs, guys. Please do it. I might summon Thor to battle these rain gods. He's going to battle Neptune and all the other adaptations of himself, Aquaman and all of it. It's awesome, man. This is pretty cool. But again, I can't say it enough. I hope the ones that are vulnerable find strength and shelter.
He's pounding in the end.
This is Connor's TikTok, and yeah, I mean, look, he ain't kidding. 1,866 views, 5,845 views.
Look at the third one's the most.
Show the snake.
Yeah, the snake, the top corner.
27,000 right here. 27,000.
What about the one above that?
Oh, 443,000.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, I love it. That just shows hard work paying off, man. And that was just a random video. That was when I was going to go cast the Bigfoot print. And I lost my walking stick.
Chris, if it starts coming this way, get back in the car.
And I was with the Walking Legend. I hope the Walking Legend is watching. He's been he's been in the chat many times on Gypsy Road and Horror Talk. The first time I ever made a video with Chris, 440,000 views. Pretty cool.
Look at that guy. That looks like Pierce sausage to me, but that's just me. Oh.
Some experts said that she was pregnant, that rattlesnake, so that's why she was being defensive.
Oh, did it change video? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right. It automatically changes videos. That's right.
Yeah, a lot of my videos went over like 5,000. It was really cool. It's still growing followers, and once you hit 10K followers, and 100,000 views in the last month, you can enter the TikTok Creators Fund. And that's what I'm doing. So that's going to be a side hustle. And then YouTube, I'm going to start a join button. And I'm going to make exclusive videos just for people that join as well.
Right.
And thinking about, making a Patreon that I can send artwork and postcards to people every month. And exclusive videos, because I'm making more videos and content than most of these people. Pretty much, Long Island Bigfoot wise is out there a little bit more than me or equal to me, but he puts out very long videos and it's great content. But he stays active and I stay active. And, me and Eric, we have horror talk and we talk about movies. But guess what? That's roots of reality. So even when I'm watching movies and making movies and writing books, it's all just reality and just tapping into it. Let me run a real quick list of movies that have brought occult and also voodoo and, Santiera and other weird witch-like things, but sadly a lot of them have turned it negative, but just try to find the balance between it all. Right, Jezebel, Thinner, Skeleton Key, The Serpent and the Rainbow, Child's Play, Voodoo Man, Pirates of the Caribbean, Stranger Tides, Major League, Shrunken Heads, The Deep, White Zombie, The Covenant, Solomon Kane, Black Death, Blair Witch Project, Beastly, Bewitched, The Believers, Tales from the Hood, Sugar Hill, Angel Heart, Voodoo Dawn, Venom, but not the one with Eddie Brock. It's a different one with the Louisiana Swamps, of course. Hatchet, that one has Victor Crawley, also the Honey Island Swamp. Needle, House on Skull Mountain, Dead Men Don't Die, Weekend at Bernie's 2, Belly of the Beast, Killer Sofa, From a Whisper to a Scream, Texas Voodoo Zombies, Lords of Salem, Autopsy of Jane Doe, Princess and a Frog, Live and Let Die, The House That Dripped Blood, Black Noon, The Super, Ghost Brigade, and American Horror Story. Of course, had Marie Laveau. There's been a ton of other ones like The Craft and other witch-like ones, but we could go forever. But Voodoo was a lot of those. I've always seen probably like 5% of those movies. A lot of them are very old because, like you guys have said earlier, Hollywood just ran with that wave because they heard that, interesting idea, and then they demonized it and ran with it. Just like down in Miami, Miami Haitian zombies, that guy that took the bath salts and then ate that other man. It was pretty wild. Well, I'm not the guy that
Hit the
ate
guy's
anybody
face.
when I did bath salts. I had crazy hallucinations when I took them, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not good. It's not,
Somebody
it's
mentioned
not
in the
good.
chat earlier, Love Potion number 9. It actually has
Well, that would be glasses.
that was where they make a potion like a love spell in a way. That's kind of a voodoo kind of a deal.
100%.
Yeah, that is a love potion. They do have love. They have potions. They have love potions. You got to be careful with them.
UK voodoo love potion. We went over it, Bob, for you and
Well, yeah. I think what was his name? Famous. Got out of prison. He was doing love potions also. And he went to jail.
O.J. Simpson?
OJ. No, OJ. The other one. Oh, fuck, I guess the name. He's a comedian. He's funny as fuck though. You know, America's Greatest Dad. Just got out of jail.
Cosby.
Bill Cosby. Yeah, he's famous for love potion number 9. So you got to be careful with those.
That's true. That's true.
You know, they're against the law. So you go to a voodoo lady, like, I'd like a love potion, please. She's going to look at you like, oh, let's see what we got here. You want the Bill Cosby or what are we looking at kind of, on the wall? So be careful. It's against the law.
Well,
Yeah.
let's tell people what's coming up, just so people
What's
will
coming
know.
up?
So, guys, remember, tomorrow night is going to be pretty cool. We're going to be talking about death worms, the folklore story of the death worms, and how movies like Tremors, even the famous books of Dune, people forget about Dune, that Dune is about the spice that comes from the worms, the powerful spice.
That's awesome. I'm going to rewatch Dune because Dune is being remade, as you guys know, and everybody's favorite Timothy Chalamet is going to be the main character, and the freaking trailer looks dope. So I'm pretty excited, but I am going to rewatch Dune as long as I have power right after this, just to freshen up, because I'm also going to watch Tremors, and there's like 6 of them. So I have a busy next few hours, and the rest of the day. I had the day off because of the storm. Very thankful.
And then Wednesday, guys, let me share the screen for Wednesday. That's not it. I have it on the screen here. Wednesday is going to be pretty cool. We actually haven't done a Matrix show in a long time. So we're gonna. I know a lot of you haven't seen Free Guy, but Free Guy has the storyline is almost identical in a lot of ways with Tron. It's like, is it telling us that we are living in a Matrix, or like I'll say, comic book video game? So we're gonna kind of break it down, kind of like what we do with Mandela Effect movies, the little history of it. So if you haven't seen Free Guy, which I seen it yesterday, and it's a damn good movie, but the storyline is almost identical to Tron. If you don't think so, I'll explain Wednesday on how the storyline. I mean, it's similar. It really is similar. It's the creator, the CPUs, the evil, stealing, discovering hidden codes, hidden world, hidden matrix. It's almost like the whole movie is really.
It is the Matrix.
It is the Matrix. I mean, it's like we are the video game. So we're gonna get deep again into a Matrix world this Wednesday. So that's exciting. So it's kind of a fun, exciting week this week. So So beyond that, guys, we hit our 2-hour mark. Anybody else want to say something? Alan, you want to say something to people before we leave?
No.
No, you're good? Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, I've been talking to this one film director, hopefully trying to line up a show for Thursday. He's making these paranormal movies that really cross the line in different ways. He's experimental. So I'm super excited for that. Everybody, please check out Zillafoot online. I'm in it. I basically play myself. But if you like reading, check out Big Brother, Bigfoot, Monsters and Mysteries Around the Corner, Eerie Swamps Road Trip to Eden, and then also Panhandle Pirates. You guys see the lights flickering? Look at that. That's freaking magic.
Yeah, you're going to be on a power.
I'm going to clip that and put it on TikTok.
Can people rent your movie now? Is it rentable or you just have to buy it?
Yeah, you have to buy it, but wait until it's free online, guys. There is a dispute right now between the main director and the cinema, and they're not paying each other. And guess what? I'm in the bottom. I don't get nothing. So buy my books, watch the trailer and just know that I'm in the movie because that's cool. And root for me in the future of these movies. But yeah man, it's Zillafoot. I'm the best part of that movie. Look for me, man. Look for Bigfoot Anonymous.
Check it out.
Yeah, watch that. But Eric, once that movie, I've been letting people borrow it. Once everybody borrows it, I'll mail it to you, and then you can watch it. But if you do buy it, you get a poster, and it's worth it's worth the $22. If you have $22, it's worth it. But I'm broke, so that's a lot for me.
I want the creator to get mostly that money, not the damn studio. That's what sucks.
Well, yeah, it's SRS Cinema. And that's the studio. Look at that. And then, oh man,
oh shit,
that's awesome. That's so cool. I can feel it too. Like my hairs are sticking up. That's electric. It sends it all the way through the house. I wonder what my neighbors are thinking right now because it's happening. Look at that. That's super wild, man. I hope everybody is in tune with that and not being put under a hypnosis spell. Yes, buy my books. Eerie Swamps Road Trip to Eden. Eerie Swamps Road Trip to Eden. Big Brother Bigfoot. There is actually voodoo in Big Brother Bigfoot because a lot of this takes place in Louisiana and Mississippi.
Jason was supposed to see.
I'm super excited for the Free Guy episode though too. I watched Free Guy and Tron. The last name is Flynn. So again, it all has ancient ties to me, and I'm like, dang it, man, we're all linked in this trinity way before Neo and Morpheus linked up.
And tomorrow night, guys, I'll give you guys my thoughts on the movie. Don't Breathe. I did go see Don't Breathe Part 2.
Nice.
I'll give you guys my thoughts on it tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm super excited. There's a low quality version that went online, and I tested it this morning. I was like, could I watch it in the dark? And no, I have to wait for the big screen. And my town does not have it. I could drive like an hour away. Today would have been the day, like hide from the storm up north, but I'm not about that life. I like testing the waters and getting into the swamp. So I'm going to put my boots on and my GoPro because my new GoPro is waterproof. So I'm going to get a little bit more footage and maybe see some wildlife that's displaced. This is the time to test it.
I've heard Bigfoots and stuff. I heard they know when there's less people out there because of the rain. People don't like to go out. Sometimes they go out more. So you might get some good hits.
Well, also tonight, if there is a tornado, put your GoPro on. If you can get out there and just kind of jump into it, we want to see what it looks like on the inside. We can do that for us.
No. Remember the movie, whatever it's called. Belt yourself off on a piece of metal, so let the tornado get above you, so you can
lower yourself
onto the rope. Twister, the movie Twister. Remember,
Twister, just go up into it.
And so while I was spinning in a circle, you can hold on and then make sure you have your camera up for us.
That's a good idea.
I'll go
live. Since you're over 1,000, maybe you could do it live on your phone. Yep. You know what? Even though if you're not over 1,000, you could use StreamYard on your phone and you could go live even if you don't have over 1,000.
GoPro it. Put it on your head and just stand outside and just go live with the storm.
Live. So beyond that, guys, we're going to end the show. And hopefully you guys remember tomorrow night, it's not going to be on the Gypsy Road channel. It's only going to be on the Horror Talk channel. So make sure if you're not subscribed, then I don't get you guys. I really don't.
Right.
Make sure you're subscribed. It's going to be good. Then later on, I might upload it to this channel. But if you want to watch it live, you got to jump on the other channel.
Very good. Very good.
So beyond that, guys, I'll see everybody later. Thank you for coming on. It was always fun. It's always fantastic. Then beyond that, we'll see everybody later.